Namaste. Hello everyone and welcome to Zoom Yoga number 49. As ever, we'll start with the opening quote. And it's from Milarepa, a Tibetan Siddha. He said, "The affairs of the world will go on forever. Do not delay the practice of meditation." The affairs of the world will go on forever. Do not delay the practice of meditation. Remember, of course, that the classical definition of meditation is just continued concentration. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as you're fully concentrated on that, you're meditating. So shall we start to meditate? So lie down in any position that you're comfortable, any meditative pose. You can have Shavasana lying on your back, Advasana lying on your front. You have the flapping fish, which is the recovery position. Or you can have Vajrasana, the position I'm sitting in at present. And we're just going to repeat the mantra. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. So settle down in your position. Get comfortable. And if you truly focus on this, you'll be meditating. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. So just allow the body to breathe naturally. As you say this mantra mentally, you can say it audibly. Obviously, you can write them. You can sing it. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. So we'll say it a few more times audibly, and then I'll leave you to continue in your favored mode. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. Allowing the body to breathe naturally and smile. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. Three more rounds. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. So if you just let go of the mantra, and if you're not already, lie down in Shavasana, and we'll just go back to basics with the full yogic breath, with the anal lock and stomach retraction. So relax your mantra for the moment. Lie down in Shavasana, floppy feet, palms facing upwards, slightly away from the torso. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. Take your left shoulder and just lift it up and roll it back down. And do the same with your right. And remember, in Shavasana, we're trying to increase the surface area of the body resting on the ground. But we'll just go back to basics with the full yogic breath. So it's one breath, but we'll break it down into 3 parts to explain it. So we take the left hand and gently place it on your abdomen. And we're just going to focus on the abdomen rising and falling. So as we inhale, the abdomen inflates. Wait for your natural pause. And when your body's ready to release the air, exhale. Your abdomen deflates. So we're just taking in enough breath so the left hand rises up. Wait for your pause and falls down. Inhaling, hand up. Natural pause, which is a seed of meditation. One more breath. Then we take our awareness to the rib cage. So we place both hands on the rib cage, just with the fingertips touching. So forget about the abdomen, and we're going to expand the rib cage. So we're going to focus our attention on the rib cage. As we inhale, you're exaggerating the movement, and you're trying to feel a bit of a stretch between these rib cage bones, the intercostal muscles. So we inhale, and if you're lucky, perhaps the fingertips, which we're touching at the beginning of the breath, will separate. Hold for your natural pause. Exhale, release. We'll just continue doing this. Just an exaggeration as we inhale. You can feel the pull of the muscles between the ribs. Wait for your pause. Exhale, allow the fingertips to touch again. So one more of this. Place your left arm on the ground, palm facing upwards, and your right hand goes up to your chest. And just place your right hand gently in your chest, and we're just going to take in enough air for the right hand to rise ever so slightly. I'm trying not to cover my microphone. So it's barely a puff of air as you inhale. And this is an example of how many people breathe. It's such a basic breath. They inhale such a small amount, and there's nothing for a proper gaseous exchange. So the right hand, it's a puff of air goes in up to the clavicle area. Wait for your natural pause and out. One more of that. Now we incorporate the 3 movements for the full yogic breath. So as we inhale, the abdomen begins to inflate. As the lungs begin to fill up, the diaphragm's pushing down. The rib cage expands. And that final bit of air up in the clavicle area. And this is what you hold or allow to remain in. And then slowly release, relax, and surrender your body weight onto the ground. So of course, we can't do this full breath as a standard every minute of the day, but it teaches good practice. It instills good practice for the breathing muscles, the chest muscles, abdominal muscles, and the diaphragm. Slow, smooth, deep breath. Allow it to remain in. You're not holding, you're allowing. And sometimes when you take such a deep breath as this, and your capacity for it to remain in will increase, as you exhale, you make it a little catch in the throat. So to prevent this, you take an extra little puff of air in before you release the breath. So slow, smooth, deep breath in. Allowing it to remain in. And just before you release it, you're just taking a smidgen, just a little puff of air, and that allows it to exhale slowly and smoothly without catching in the throat. So now we introduce the anal lock. So we continue with the full yogic breath. It's Mula Bandha, the anal lock. So we're going to tighten the sphincter. And it takes a bit of practice because you don't want to tighten all the muscles in that area and you don't want to tighten your abdominal muscles. So you just, as you inhale, you tighten the sphincter, your anus. As you inhale, hold, and then an extra puff in. And as you release your anal lock. So a few more of these. Inhale, as you apply the anal lock, the Mula Bandha. Keeping the lock on. This gives a vast amount of energy. It keeps everything functioning well in the plumbing area of the body. Exhale, release. The next time you release, you can gently pull the abdomen back towards the spine. So we inhale as you apply the Mula Bandha. Full yogic breath. Abdomen inflating, ribcage expanding. And when you're ready to release, extra puff of air, release the throat area, release the Mula Bandha. Gently pull the abdomen back towards the spine. So this in itself is meditative if you concentrate on it fully, and it does take a bit of concentration not to contract abdominal muscles as well. It's just practice. It can be tiring initially, so you can do a couple of breaths of anal lock, stomach retraction, and then a couple ordinary breaths without applying the lock. There's another addition if you wish. You inhale as you apply the lock, allow the abdomen to expand, inflate, ribcage expand, fill up the lungs. When you're ready to release, release the lock. Pull the abdomen back towards the spine, and you can put on another bandha. Uddiyana bandha, you pull the muscles up behind the rib cage. This is quite a strong one as well. But these breathing techniques and muscle contractions give vast amount of energy. And they also squeeze and release the organs in the area. It's good for the male and female plumbing. Wonderful exercise if you have prostate problems. And I believe these exercises are given to women after giving birth. So inhale, contract. Inflate, expand, and fill. Allow the breath to remain in with the inner lock on. And then you relax all efforts, soften the body onto the ground, pull the abdomen back, and then up behind the rib cage. And you can feel that whole midriff area contracting and releasing. You feel the back muscles. This is a wonderful exercise. You're lying relaxed. You're only energizing the body doing this. So one more, and then just relax all efforts and allow the body to breathe naturally in Shavasana. The mind-body relaxer. So remember, it doesn't matter how you feel. You can always just lie in Shavasana and start to breathe. And if you have a little bit of spare energy, you can start to do these simple contraction and releases. It's like an internal massage. Shavasana, where you let go of the old to make space for the new. In Sanskrit, it was called Mritasana, the dead man's pose. You die to the old to make space for the new. So now we're going to do a Kiya Kriya, which is another deep relaxation technique. Place our palms down the side of the body. And we're going to separate our feet just far enough that when we turn our toes inwards, they can touch. So don't make it too easy. You can turn them in and touch and nothing's happening. So keep separating the feet until you feel there's a slight pull in your hip area. And that's a starting point. You don't want it to be uncomfortable, but you know that something's happening. So all we're going to do is we inhale. As we turn the toes towards each other and touch, wait for your natural pause. Remember your full yogic breath, but no inner lock, no Uddiyana bandha. Just inhale, touch toes, wait for your pause. Exhale and relax and allow the toes to flop out. And of course, you're going to find with each movement, it will get slightly easier. So you can always widen the space between the ankles. Inhale, toes turning in, touching. Wait for your pause, exhale, flop out. One more of that. And allow your toes just to flop out and relax. Now we're just going to focus on the hands. Simple, simple. The hands are palms down on the mat, the side of the body. We're going to inhale as we roll the palms upwards. Wait for your pause. Exhale down. Inhale, palms upwards. Wait for your pause. Exhale, palms downwards. Wait for your pause. One more of these. So we ignore the feet, we ignore the hands. Now we're just going to turn the head. So we inhale as we turn the head to the right. Careful not to bend the neck. Exhale as you take the head back to neutral. Inhale, turn the head to the left. Exhale back to neutral. So once more to either side. Inhale to the right. Exhale neutral. Inhale to the left. Try not to bend the chin, try not to tuck the chin towards the shoulder. You're trying to keep the neck long so you get a twist in the neck. Exhale to neutral. I'm sure you can guess what's coming now. We do the three of them at the same time. So we inhale as we turn the toes into touch, as the palms go upwards and the head goes to the right. Exhale as we release the toes, palms downwards, head to neutral. Inhale as we touch your toes, palms upwards, head to the left. Exhale, toes out, palms down, head to neutral. So I'll just leave you to do a couple in your own time. So finish the one that you're on. Relax all efforts. Floppy feet, palms upwards, or neck and chin. Remember, at any time, you can pause the video and continue the practice of the posture or movement that we're on. Perhaps you want to lie here for another 20 minutes, then you must do that. Pause and continue for 20 minutes, and then you can finish the rest of the class another day. This is a wonderful example of meditation, because if you're fully concentrated on the toes touching, the hands turning upwards, the head moving, with the breath and awareness of what's happening, then there's not much left to focus on anything else. Allow the body to breathe naturally. And with each exhalation, totally surrender the body weight onto the ground. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. Supta Parvamuktasana. So we're going to squeeze the right leg, both legs, and left legs, which works on the inguinal nodes, massages the stomach, stretches the back, contracts the arms, squeezes the throat, thyroid area, multifaceted. So palms down the side of the body. We inhale as we slide the right heel along towards the seat. Exhale as we squeeze, clasp the knee, and pull the knee towards the body. Release as you inhale, exhale as you slide away. Both legs. Inhale as we take both heels towards the seat. Exhale as we clasp both knees and gently squeeze, tucking the chin in firmly. Inhale as you release, gently slide both heels away. And then finally the left leg. Inhale as we slide the left heel along. Exhale as we squeeze. It doesn't matter how far your knee gets to your body, but tuck the chin in firmly. I have to be careful I don't eat my microphone. But and again, you can continue this for as long as you wish. We'll do one more round. But if you want to continue longer, pause the video and continue your own practice. So it's right leg, both legs, left leg. Inhale as you slide the heels towards the seat. Exhale as you squeeze. Inline Shavasana. It's right leg, both legs, left leg, because it's ascending, transverse, and descending colon. That's the direction of your digestion. Place both feet next to your seat, and we'll do a simple bridge. So our feet are at our seat. And we're just going to inhale as we raise the arms up and place them flat on the ground behind us. It doesn't matter if you get them straight. Some people won't manage, depending on how tight your shoulders are. So we're just going to breathe and elongate the torso and stretch through the arms, stretch through the fingertips. Full yogic breath and relax. So this is a type of posture you could add your anal lock and your stomach retraction. So for example, we inhale now, you can apply your lock, your Mula Bandha, inhale, apply your bandha, contract your anus, your sphincter. And as you exhale, you relax the stretch, release the lock and pull back in the abdomen, and then pull up, Uddiyana Bandha. You can take a comfort breath without applying the bandhas. So we just inhale, we stretch through the arms, elongate it. You can feel the stretch through the rib cage, the armpits, or I can feel it there, perhaps. We will all feel it in different areas, and relax. So now again, you can inhale, stretch through, apply your anal lock, hold, and as you exhale, release the lock, release the stretch, pull the stomach muscles back towards the spine, and then up behind the rib cage. These are very strong movements, and you will know if you do this a couple of days in a trot, you will feel a slight ache the next day, the lactic acid, because you're using muscles in a way that you're not used to. But they give incredible amounts of energy. It's for you to find out for yourselves. There's no point just listening to me. It's never about the explanation, but always about the experience. I'll try a couple more of these, mainly because I don't feel like lifting my seat. Inhale, apply the lock, stretch, release the inner lock, pull the abdomen back and up. So you do have to be careful with these because you will pull muscles if you're too stern in your approach. There's no need for the face to be contracted. There's no need for any other part of the body to be contracted apart from the muscles that are involved in the movement. So you can continue that practice, or if you wish to let it be, you can raise the seat. So we inhale, feel that your feet are parallel. We're not going for an aggressive stretch. You just raise the seat up to a position that feels comfortable and you hold it. You can come up with inhalation, down with exhalation. I prefer to stay up. Inhale, stretch through and just slightly lift through the gluteals and stretch through the abdomen. If you don't feel anything, if you feel that nothing is happening in the thighs, then you can take your heels a little bit closer to your seat. And then you barely have to lift and you'll feel a stronger contraction through the thighs and a stretch through the thighs, more importantly. So again, if this is too much for you, you can inhale as you come up, exhale down. Or you can stay up and give yourself a different workout. Get the breath in. And finally, if you wish, you can take your awareness to your right foot, take the weight and awareness on the right foot, and you can gently lift the left leg. My knee went snap there, I don't know if you heard it. And again, it doesn't matter how far you lift the leg. My hamstrings are tight with cycling, so I can't lift the leg so far, but make sure that you try and keep it straight. And again, it's up to you how many breaths you have in this position, depending how much you want to push yourself. So take your 1, 2, 3 breaths, 4 breaths, and then you change leg. Take your awareness to the left foot. And try and keep the same level of arch that you have when you raise the leg. Take a weight on the left foot, get your balance, and up you come with the right. And I'm only doing 3 breaths. Realign the feet, try and feel that the feet are parallel. And then when you come down, you're trying to take the hands down at the same time as the seat. On an exhalation. Nice and slow. Now we're going to do preliminary plow. So you have your hands at the side of your buttocks, palms down. So you can stay in this position, or you can take your fists and gently place them under the edge of your buttocks if your lower back isn't so strong. So I prefer the fists under the buttocks. We're going to bend at the knees. And we're just taking our legs up far enough. You're trying to keep as much of the lower back on the ground as possible. So we don't want to come away back like this because you're lifting the lower back off the ground. It's a different stretch. This is a preliminary plow. If you've lower back challenges, then do place the fists under the buttocks. You can pause the video and have a look to see what I'm doing. So it just eases the pressure on the lower back. Just raise the legs to a comfortable position. You may get a little bit of a shake. This again just means that you're using the muscles in a particular way that you haven't done before. So the primary muscles get tired very quickly. The secondary muscles have to take over and they're not fit for purpose. Or it could just be your legs are tired. Preliminary plow. If you wish, you can inhale as you open the legs, keeping them straight. Exhale as you go back. Comfort breath. Again, these are reasonably strong. One more. My own legs are beginning to shake a little because yesterday I cycled up a bit of a hill. So you can either lower your legs back into Shavasana, or we can go into an inverted position, inverted posture. You take your palms down on the ground, you push through, and you come up and place your hands under your hips. And we're just looking for 45 degrees with the legs. So we don't want the toes going way back onto the ground behind our head. We're just looking for the simple position where we're allowing all the blood to trickle out to the ankles, calves, eyes. And also we're getting fresh oxygenated blood trickling up into the brain without the hassle and bother of a headstand. Breathe slow, smooth, and deep. You shouldn't stay in this position too long if you have any issues with your eyes or high blood pressure, obviously. You can build up a practice if you've got none of these ailments. To come out, you bend at the knees, place the hands on the ground for support, and slowly roll back down, vertebra by vertebra. Place your feet next to your seat. And we're going to roll from side to side. So we're going to clasp the knees and just roll from side to side, lower back. You don't need a tight squeeze, just ease the muscles. If you really want to roll extreme to each side, you can use your elbows to push yourself back up, but I don't like to go that far. It's just a wee massage for the back muscles. And when you've had enough of that, clasp the knees more firmly and we'll rock. And you can come up quite high without coming right up into a sitting position. Watching it. Bang your head if you're on a hard surface. But you can gain the momentum with the rock until you can sit right up. Animal relaxation. So we're going to go over we're going to lean to the right and take our left leg and tuck it around the side of our body. We've done this many times before. We're taking the right leg and we're placing the toe, let's sit back a bit. We're placing the toe in line with the knee. And then we're going to lean over the thigh. We're going to walk at our fingers and lean our torso onto the thigh. Once you get into this position, if you feel that nothing's happening, because some people are very flexible in this position, then what you do is come out of the position, you take your right foot a bit further forward, and instead of going over the thigh, you turn around and you go over your lower leg. So for example, if I go down quickly into this position, I can go down quite far. I do feel that because of my tight gluteals, but if you don't feel anything, then instead of going over the here, you go over the lower leg, and if I show you, movement is severely restricted in this position. So find the one that works for you. So to begin with, so you turn the torso around, and you walk at your fingers, animal relaxation. And you keep your fingers in line so you're getting an equal stretch through the back muscles. And you just start to breathe into it. I'm not sure if I can still speak clearly and tuck my head down, but you get the idea. You're walking out with your fingers. You're relaxing everything. And what you're trying to do is when you're taking in the breath, take your awareness to between your shoulder blades. So you're stretching the muscles up there as well. Forget about your nose. So the breath is coming in from there, and you're expanding the back muscles and then softening and surrendering as you walk through the fingers. As I say, try to keep the fingers in line, otherwise you'll twist the back and it'll be an unequal stretch. So inhale as you lengthen through the spine, exhale as you soften. As you walk away with the fingers, stretching the back muscles and the arms. 3 more breaths. And then slowly walk out. Again, this posture you can stay in for a very long time and you get a proper relax. You can do this posture for 20 minutes, no problem. Then we'll lean over to the right, release the left leg, release our right. And as you release your right, that's when its knee's been twisted the most. Take, in fact, straighten both legs, just bend both legs and realign the knee joint. Then we'll go to the other side. So lean over to the left. That gives you space to tuck your leg around, your right leg. And of course, each side is always different, but you'll have an idea now how flexible you are with lying flat on your thigh. So perhaps even before trying this one, you can take your foot out a little bit further and start maybe a little bit below the knee, if you managed to do that previous one without any discomfort. Turn the torso around and then walk out. The actual posture is you're meant to raise your arms and take the full length of the torso and come forward, but I find that's very strong in the lower back, and I've damaged this lower back too many times. So for me to do this and to take his weight out is far too much. So you just walk out gradually. Again, whatever I say, try it for yourself and also check up with other things online and see what adjustments you can make accordingly. Because I'm only giving my interpretation. Now you may find that one elbow will not reach the ground as you walk out, so you just work with that and breathe into it. Just check that your fingertips are in line and you're not trying to get anywhere. You're coming down to the first point of resistance, which isn't very far from me on this side. And then you start to breathe into it. So you're lifting up through the spine, softening down. And as you breathe in, you're trying to stretch up muscles between the shoulder blades. That's now after 10 breaths on my part. My right elbow is now going on the ground. So you don't get alarmed, you don't chastise yourself, you just breathe into the posture and allow the body to release in its own time. A couple more breaths and then slowly walk out. Again, this is a very nice posture to stay in for 15, 20 minutes, but it's not suitable for a class environment to do this because it's not for everyone. So we'll lean over to the left, which releases the right leg. Release the left. And then just one or two movements to realign the knees. Too many yoga teachers have damaged their knees. Then we'll go into a simple cat. Okay. So the knees under the hips. Sorry, knees hip width apart. That's what I should have said. Knees hip width apart. So don't be shy if your hips are bigger than you'd like them to be. Be honest and get them in that position, or you'll lose the balance when you do twists or go into different positions. If you've problems with your wrists or they're weak, then your hands don't have to be directly under your shoulders. You can move them forward a wee bit, which changes the angle, which releases the pressure on the wrists. And the most simplest cut, once you're comfortable, is we inhale as we raise the chin. Concave the back. Raise the seat. You can take as many breaths as you wish to do this, depends how slowly you're doing it. And then inhale and exhale as you tuck the chin in. Everything else remains in the same position. And then you arch through the back, pull the gluteals in and pull the stomach back. Push through the arms. You keep everything in the same position and you move the chin first. It's always the chin that moves first, and then you work down the spine. As I say, it's not so important, the breathing movement, as long as you keep breathing, because they have different effects. You can either inhale as you're pulling the stomach back, which creates greater pressure on the internal organs, or you can exhale and pull the stomach back, which is more for muscles. But this is another wonderful posture you can do at the end of the day if you've been sitting for a prolonged period in a constant position. And just ease the spine and get that breath in. You calm the nervous system, you clean the lungs, oxygenate the blood. I receive goodness, I radiate happiness, I am content. And if you focus on this, you can't be too bothered about what happened earlier in the day, because it's finished. So a couple more in your own time. People think they have to be doing the strong, aggressive postures all the time. But these subtle movements work at a deeper level. Dare I say it, you could apply your anal lock as you're inhaling, stretching up concave in the back. And then as you exhale, tucking your chin in, pulling your stomach back, and you can pull it up behind the rib cage. So you can see how you can apply these bandhas in appropriate postures. Okay, that you're on. And we're going to take our right foot and just take it to the outside of our right hand, a lunge. Right foot in line with the right hand, and then just ease forward and have a wee try to see if it's comfortable for you. And if you don't feel anything's happening, then of course you can just edge your foot further forward. And then have another wee try. Ooh, getting a little bit of a stretch in my hamstring there. And I've said before, you have three options with this. You can be flat on your palms, which keeps the back, the the stretch and the contrast in the back quite shallow. Open your fists, and you come forward and lift up. It's a different lunge. Or you can come up on your fingers, but make sure you keep your thumb directly under your thumb joint, which acts as a proper post. And you come forward, and again, it releases more of the back. So again, play about. If you go back to the palms down, then it's a stronger stretch there. Fists or fingers. This is where you have to do your own bit of research and figure out which one works best. So I'll leave you for a few seconds and just go into your own stretch and breathe into it. And soften. So as you inhale, you're concave in the back, lifting up and through the spine. And as you exhale, you're softening and you're getting a stretch through the groin and the hamstrings. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. And if you're not content with a slow, smooth, deep breath, with a beautiful mantra, with a smile and a stretch, it's a bit of a worry. Three more breaths, in whichever position you're in. And then you release and stretch back. Not so strong, or not so far, because it's a strong one, that it is for my hamstrings. And then we change side. So left foot outside of the left hand, and just move forward to get a feel to see if anything's happening. And if it isn't, you can move the foot further forward. So remember, palms, fists, or fingers. Inhale as you stretch forward, concave the back, look up, stretch up. And then exhale through the lunge. Three more breaths. And ease out of it. Again, just lean back. You'll feel a stretch through the hamstring. And then we're just going to do a downward facing dog with a calf stretch. And then we'll sweep through and up into upward facing dog. So we tuck our toes under, raise our seat. I'm always mindful of this microphone. Stretch up, stretch through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. Stretch through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. And then you can bend each knee alternately and get a stretch through the calf. Try to keep your position, try to keep your downward facing dog. And if you're really feeling adventurous, from a downward facing dog, you come up on your toes, through you come, keeping your torso off the ground, keeping your shoulders relaxed, through into upward facing dog. Again, you can stay in this position because you've got the post of the arms supporting you. Keep the shoulders relaxed, don't get them scrunched up to the ears, and you can come back up. Three stretches. Stretch your calf muscles by releasing each knee alternately. Then down, through and up. So inhale as you relax with the shoulders, stretch through, keeping the torso off the ground. It's a lovely stretch. So once more, if you feel the need, if not, if that's enough for you, you can stop and lie down in Shavasana or any relaxation posture. Through, down and up. It's wonderful in yoga, stamina you can build up, calming the nervous system, purifying the body, balance, strength, discipline, focus. Down on your knees. If you wish, you can just do a couple simple cats. And then down into the relaxation posture of your choice. Shavasana, which is lying on your back. Advasana, lying on your front. If it's Advasana, you can put your forehead on your palms, so you can put your palms over your neck, or your arms straight out. You can have the flapping fish, which is the recovery position if you faint, on your side, or you can have Vajrasana, which is my favorite one. Let the body settle down. So if you're in Shavasana, floppy feet. Palms facing upwards. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. Lift up the left shoulder and just ease it down. Lift up your right. Roll it back down. Smile. Take your lower back, that slight gap that you may have in the lower back from the ground, and gently compress it down and release. Gently compress and release. Allow the body to breathe naturally. You've done a lot of work today. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. So the next time you're out of sorts, the next time you've lost your temper, and we all do it, replace it with something like this. And the secret is, you don't chastise yourself for losing your temper or getting annoyed. You give yourself a big pat on the back for recognizing it and replacing it with a positive, healing, nurturing mantra. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. And this will gently ease you back into a position of parity or equanimity. That's a better word, equanimity. Equanimous mind, which is a balanced mind even under situations of duress. Equanimous mind. So it's easy to lie in Shavasana on a beautiful day off with the sun shining and everything's well. But try keeping your equanimous mind when things aren't going so well. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am. And smile. Free serotonin. It's so important. Even if you don't feel like it, smile. You're tricking the body, releasing hormones, happy hormones. Remember, you always have a choice. You can put negativity into your thoughts, or you can put positivity. If you let someone rent a space in your mind, check that they're a good tenant. I receive goodness. I radiate happiness. I am content. And as ever, we'll just finish with the closing quote. It's anonymous. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. And isn't that pertinent to our current times? As always, namaste. Thank you very much. With much love.